Well, kia ora, good afternoon. Is it afternoon? It is. Morning still. It's been a long day. Hey, listen, fantastic news today to see our primary industries sector, food and fibre sector, deliver $60 billion of revenue for New Zealand, up 12% over the previous year. It's obviously the trend that we've picked up across the whole of Fieldays, but we've been picking up across the country, which is our primary sector industries are doing incredibly well, and we're really proud of them. So with that, happy to take your questions.
Have you received, on a separate issue, have you received any advice or reports about the Pentagon reviewing this? And has Australia contacted the government about it?
No, I haven't. Obviously, that's an issue. We're not a member of AUKUS. That's an issue for the UK, Australia and the US to work through. We've obviously been exploring whether there's any potential involvement in AUKUS, what's called Pillar 2, but that's something quite different from what the AUKUS core arrangement's about.
Is New Zealand concerned it could be the end of New Zealand joining Pillar 2?
No, I mean, again, it's been left very open-ended. We're exploring Pillar 2. It's been, to be honest, quite slow going, and we are yet to be invited to participate in Pillar 2. We're just carrying on the policy of the previous Labor government, which is to explore it.
And staying overseas, how promising is the news that China and the US have struck a trade deal?
Yeah, look, I'm sure Todd will say something more about it, but I mean, what we want to see is, more certainty in the global trading environment, and I've read the reports as well. Obviously, the devil will be in the detail, but that can only be a good thing. Todd, did you have anything else to say about it?
Well, Prime Minister, only that it is good that there's some certainty coming about, and I think if a deal has been done, it's welcome. We need to wait for some detail yet. It's clear that there are still going to be tariff rates on both countries, likely to be higher than the ones New Zealand faces into the US. That inevitably is going to give opportunity to New Zealand exporters and make them more competitive in that market, competing against others, but there's still a long way to go. The only thing New Zealand would say is that trade certainly is important. Would encourage more trade deals with the US so that we can get more certainty.
And question Mr. Luxon, do you expect China's president to brief you on details when you travel to China sometime?
Yeah, look, I'm sure that will be a topic of conversation, about how we see the global trading environment and what we're observing in the region, but also around the world. Again, I think, as Todd and I've talked and checked in regularly with New Zealand exporters to the US, we're really pleased to hear of good progress from our own exporters. They're still finding really great opportunities to grow their businesses. They're doing a great job targeting the right channels and the right customers. But yes, of course, that'll be a big topic of conversation when I do catch up with both President Xi and Premier Li in due course.
And lastly, a question from me on rural mental health. When it comes to that $3 million of funding that you've announced, it's great to see that, but what about jobs like rural psychologists? There's a real shortage out there of them. Will you be looking at spending any funding on trying to boost that workforce?
Yeah, look, we've made tremendous progress in the sense on healthcare across New Zealand. We've put a lot more money in. We put $17 billion almost in last year. We put another $7 billion in this year. So we're putting a lot of money and funding into healthcare. The good news is that we've actually grown our doctors by 200 and our nurses by 1,700. So we're making... Yeah, so we made good progress on the absolute workforce, but you're right, we've got challenges in parts of rural New Zealand. We've also got challenges in other parts of our healthcare system, mental health and other areas. That's why you've seen us spend another $164 million opening up urgent care and extended care services. 24/7 digital services will be coming from July 1, and we've put in place a $20,000 incentive to incent nurses to go into rural settings. So there's a lot more for us to do. Obviously, the investments around rural mental health are really important given the sobering nature of the statistics that we're encountering there. But we are doing everything we can to make sure that we actually now get the funding and the workforce actually moving out to where we've got the gaps and the challenges, which are increasingly sitting in rural New Zealand.
A questions for me, just on those export results, really impressive. How much credit can the government take for that?
Well, I think a tremendous credit. I mean, we've created the conditions for growth. It's ultimately up for the businesses themselves to go out and to seize on those opportunities. But if I think about the work that Todd's undertaken to make sure that we're opening up new markets, whether it's the GCC, the UAE, a 21% growth in the UK just in the last 12 months, a 28% growth into the EU by virtue of Todd bringing that agreement into earlier acceptance. So I think there's been tremendous progress made on the trade front, and I think from Nicola's work to make sure that she's cleaning up the books, good financial management, good fiscal management to lower inflation, to lower interest rates, to get the economy growing, to get people employed. That's what the work that we've been doing as a government, and we believe in, as you know, with growth. And again, it's our primary industry sector pulling New Zealand out of a recession on a pathway to economic growth. And now we've got a really exciting future to try and shape it, despite all the volatility that sits out there in the world. So I'm really proud of the primary industry sector, but also proud of the work of both Nicola and Todd and all of our team to create the conditions for growth as well.
Yeah, there's just no question. Low inflation, low interest rates, less red tape, that's good news for farmers, and you're seeing that in their results. It also gives them great confidence that they've got a government that backs them. That means they're investing in more growth, and that's good for all New Zealanders.
And I think, sorry, I'd just say the investment boost product that we've put in place over the budget has been fantastic. Every stall I've gone to has talked about that being one of the things that's tipping people into making a purchase decision now that makes their farms more efficient, which in turn enables them to have higher profits, which in turn leads to higher wages. So it is a sum of all of the things that we're talking about, and it's great to see farmer confidence at an all-time high.
And I guess a caveat could be that those high dairy prices are great for exporters, but it can lead to high prices for products like butter. What do you make of that situation? I guess that ties into inflation, right?
Well, look, on butter, it has not been lost on me that if you go to Costco today, you can get butter for about half the price that you can at New World, at Pack and Save, and that's a story of competition. And so I think retail competition has a big role to play in the price that New Zealanders pay for butter and other dairy goods, and that's why our government is doing quite a lot to promote that competition. It is also always true that when dairy is in high demand globally, that does have an impact on prices here at home. And we are very conscious of the impact that has for families, because milk, butter, they're staples for many Kiwis. And when it's that expensive, I know many people are having to substitute and find workarounds, and that's tough. So I want to see that competition, because not everyone can shop at Costco right now, but we should be getting that level of retail competition everywhere in the country.
Yeah, well said.
You're going to Cabinet soon with some suggestions on supermarkets?
Yes, that's right. There's 3 bits of activity we have underway. One is, what are the barriers we can remove so that there can be more Costcos and things like Costco. The second is, how can we make sure the Commerce Commission has sharp teeth so that if the big guys aren't being competitive, they face real consequences. And the third bit is looking more deeply at the structure of the grocery sector.
Just on another topic, the Reserve Bank, how do you think they handled comms around Adrian Law's exit? Do you think it was transparent?
Well, I've expressed that I think that they could have shared the information they shared yesterday earlier. I have spoken to their chairperson, Neil Quigley, and expressed my view that they did not manage that Official Information Act request well, and that I expect them to do better. He has acknowledged that they could have and should have done better. It's my expectation that all government agencies comply with their statutory obligations and, wherever possible, are open and transparent with New Zealanders. Of course, they need to balance that against their legal obligations when it comes to employment discussions and agreements. But on this one, I think they could have pulled their socks up.
Good. Awesome, guys. We'll go enjoy the great day at Fieldays. Amazing things happening out there, and I hope you get a chance to talk to some people who are doing some incredible things. Take care. See ya.
Thank you.
Okay.